The purpose of this assignment is to create a forensic image with Kali Linux using the dd command. dd is a very powerful and useful utility available on Unix and Unix-like operating systems, including Linux. The primary purpose of this command is to convert and copy files. dd will copy metadata and data blocks in their entirety, bit by bit, regardless of whether they are allocated to an active file or not. dd reads data from the input source, which is specified with the if flag. So here what we are seeing is the input source. In our case, it's going to be the USB flash drive, and then dd will produce an output in which, in our case, we are actually transferring data from the input source to an output source, which is under the downloads folder in the Kali Linux operating system with 512 byte size default block chunks, and you need to type in sudo to allow you to execute some commands as roots, and this is one of the commands that you need to use in order to execute your command as a root user and as an administrative privileged user. So you need to be very cautious to implement this practice, as you may erase all your data on the flash drive or even on your disk. So you should be very careful in implementing this practice. In computing, the fdisk command utility provides disk partitioning functions, and it's important to actually analyze the partition table on a given hard drive or disk. Fdisk features in many operating systems and very useful tool to initially analyze and have information about the file system on a given hard drive or on a given flash drive. In order to have more information about the fdisk command, you can type in man fdisk, which gives you information about the features of the fdisk command. Commands like dd and fdisk can be used through the Linux terminal, which is a text-based interface used to control a Linux computer. It's just one of the many tools provided to Linux users for accomplishing any given task. So after we plugged in our flash drive, what we want to do is to go to the status bar on the bottom of your screen, where you can locate the flash drive, the icon for USB drives, and you just need to actually right click on the icon and choose the flash drive that you already plugged into your computer. You're gonna see a lot of USB devices here. Our target is the USB flash disk over here. Just check the USB flash disk, and then in this step you'll see that the flash disk will appear on your desktop. And in the next step, you want to actually execute the fdisk and dd image commands, but you can do this after you start your terminal emulator from the top of your screen. And now we are seeing the interface to communicate with our Linux operating system. So on this step, what we want to do is to actually run the fdisk command. But before you do that, you can get more information about the fdisk command by typing man fdisk, and when I hit enter, I see actually a lot of key information about the fdisk command, which describes how the keys for each command actually works. And here I see the dash L command, which means listing the partition tables for the specified devices, and then exit. So what we want to do is first actually list the partition tables on our disk that is actually working within our disk. So let's skip this help page and type in fdisk-l. This is not gonna work. Actually, you need to have a root user privilege. So type in sudo at the beginning of this script, and then type in fdisk-l and hit enter. The operating system is going to ask you the password, and you need to type in Kali again. Now when I hit enter, what I am seeing here is that the device information attached to my operating system, working with my operating system. But here I'm seeing what I want to see is the flash disk, USB flash disk drive and its information. Over here, the path to our flash disk is actually the /div /sdb, and we can see the size and capacity of our flash disk, and more information also here included about the sector size and disk label that indicates the file allocation table as well. And actually our file allocation table is actually FAT32, and the size of the flash drive is more than 3.7 gigabytes, and you'll see more information. Anyway, our practice is about creating a DD image, or a forensic image of a flash drive. So we want to image the USB flash drive, which is in our case under the DEV directory, and we'll actually type in sudo and dd, and when I type in dd, it brings the command that I have already written, and I just push the right arrow button on my keyboard, and it actually brought the whole script, and I don't need to write the whole script again. So I'll give a different name, in this case image of let's say USB drive. It's a little bit of a long name. Anyway, hit enter. Actually, when you hit enter, the operating system is actually starting to image the file. I actually entered the password here, and if by any chance the system asks you again the password, you just need to type in the password and then run your command. So what we are seeing is here is that we don't see anything happening, as we are just using a terminal, but actually you can see the command is running from your downloads folder, Let's minimize this page and actually click on the home icon and click downloads. Yes, we're seeing our uh, long named image here is actually being created. At the bottom of the screen, you'll see that the system actually has created 183 megabytes of the image, but it's still running, and we can see that it's still running. Just right click on the image and hit properties, and then what we'll see here is that the bytes and megabytes are changing as the size increases. Our image is closer to the completion, but it's gonna take some more time as the flash drive is 4 gigabytes, so it's gonna take about uh, 20 minutes or more in my computer to finish. But when you see the complete size of your image, which is in my case is 4 gigabyte, and then the size of the image is not increasing, then the comment is completed, and you can actually go back to the terminal here and then see that the comment is actually completed.